It started like any other argument between father and son. Ross Marshall had reached his breaking point. Joel's words, venomous, sexist, cruel, cut through the room like knives. He called Vicky barren, accused her of being less of a woman. It wasn't just anger, it was hatred that came from somewhere deeper, darker. Ross tried to restrain himself, shoving Joel against the kitchen door before storming out, terrified he might hit his own son. That was his mistake. Because the moment Ross walked out, Joel's rage turned inward, and Vicky became his target. She tried to calm him, to reason with him, to remind him he was better than this. But Joel wasn't listening. His pride had been wounded, his ego shattered. When Vicky told him, "You'll never be a real man," something inside him snapped. He hit her hard. Then again and again. Vicky fell to the floor, dizzy, terrified, trying to crawl away. Joel didn't stop. He pulled out his phone, and he filmed it. But he didn't realize that recording could be his downfall. The evidence that could end him. After the attack, Joel panicked. He deleted some files, renamed others, and hid the phone deep inside the garage behind the Slater house, the one place he thought no one would ever look. But he'd underestimated two people, Tommy Moon and Teddy Mitchell. Tommy had seen Joel's temper before. Months earlier, he'd caught Joel on the tube, attacking a woman. Joel had begged him to delete the footage. He said he did. But Tommy never trusted him, and somewhere, deep in an old backup, that video still existed. Meanwhile, Teddy Mitchell, always watching from the shadows, had his own reason to spy. Ravi Galati's drug empire was beginning to crumble, and Teddy had planted a hidden camera in Kojo's flat to catch Ravi. What he didn't expect was that Joel's name would appear on that footage too. A single frame, Joel meeting one of Ravi's associates outside the club, changed everything. Joel wasn't just a violent young man. He was connected, and someone powerful was protecting him. The cover-up. When Ross came home that night and saw Vicky's phone still on the counter, something felt wrong. The silence, the untouched dinner, the faint trace of blood on the floor. Then came the call. She'd been taken to hospital. Ross raced there, heart pounding, denial clouding his thoughts. "It can't be Joel," he whispered. "He'd never do that." But when he saw Vicky, her face bruised, her body trembling, the truth became unbearable. Vicky tried to speak, but the trauma froze her words. Ross wanted to believe it was an accident, that Joel lost control. But deep down, he knew this wasn't the first time. He'd paid off families before. Back in Australia, he gave $50,000 to silence a girl Joel had photographed under her skirt. And now it was happening again, only worse. Ross realized too late that his silence had built the monster standing before him. Days later, Vicky sat in the hospital, numb. Her phone buzzed an anonymous text. No name, just a link. She pressed play. It was Joel. The video. The attack. Everything. Her breath caught in her throat. She could hear herself begging, see herself being kicked. She could even see the reflection of Joel's face cold, smirking in the window glass. Whoever sent it knew the truth. And they wanted Joel to burn. But the question was who filmed it. Joel had deleted everything, or so he thought. What if someone had hacked his cloud? What if someone inside Walford was already building a case, not just against Joel, but against everyone who helped him hide? When Detective Callum Highway received an anonymous tip linking Joel to multiple assaults, he didn't expect the evidence to come from inside the Marshall family itself. A device found in the Slater garage contained fragments of encrypted files recovered from Joel's old phone backups. Each clip is worse than the last. Vicky's attack, the tube assault, Avani's recording, and a hidden meeting with Ravi's runner exchanging something small and metallic with a SIM card. The footage wasn't just proof of abuse. It hinted at a trade network, linking Joel's private videos to a dark web operation Ravi's gang had been using to blackmail clients. Joel wasn't just violent, he was being used. Ross had unknowingly opened the door for something far larger, and the police were finally starting to piece it together. The new target. As word spread, Amy Mitchell, one of Walford's teens, confronted Joel in the park. "You're nothing but an incel," she shouted. "You hate women because you're scared of them." That word hit Joel like a bullet. He'd been mocked online before, humiliated by people who knew nothing about his pain. But Amy's voice, sharp and fearless, cut through the last thread holding him together. Later that night, he watched her from across the square. Every shadow, every step. He wanted revenge, not just against her, but against the world that had branded him. But someone else was watching him. Teddy Mitchell had tapped into the feed from Ravi's flat camera, and in the corner of the frame, Joel appeared again, pacing, agitated, whispering into his phone. Teddy zoomed in and froze. The voice on the other end was Ravi. Ravi's calm words were chilling. "Keep her quiet, Joel. If she talks, we all burn." Teddy's plan. Now everything connected Ravi's smuggling, Joel's violence, and Ross's money. Teddy realized this wasn't random. It was a chain, and at the center was Ravi Galati. Teddy knew he had one chance. He told Harry to take Kojo and Gina out, giving him time to break into Ravi's flat again. Every creak, every flicker of light made his heart race. He had to find that hidden drive, the one Ravi used to store everything. But when he opened the drawer, what he found wasn't drugs. It was named Joel Marshall, Avani Nandrat, Vicky Fowler. Ravi hadn't just been running a drug operation. He'd been collecting secret blackmail material from people across Walford, using Joel's crimes as bargaining chips. Teddy realized exposing Ravi meant exposing Joel, Ross, and even Vicky. One move could destroy them all. The collision. Back at the hospital, Ross finally faced his son. "Tell me the truth," he demanded. Joel just smirked. "You can't handle the truth, Dad. You made me." Ross snapped, grabbing him by the collar. "I paid for your mistakes, Joel, but this time you pay for mine." That night, Ross handed over the hard drive Teddy gave him to the police. Inside, the files confirmed everything from Ravi's trafficking network to Joel's attacks. But by then, it was too late. Joel had vanished. At 3 a.m., Teddy's phone buzzed with a new notification. The hidden camera in Ravi's flat had gone offline. He opened the live feed static. Then a face appeared. Joel. He leaned close to the lens, whispering, "You think you can play me? Watch what happens next." The feed was cut out completely. By morning, news broke that Ravi's car had exploded near the river. No body was found, and Joel's phone, the same one he used to record Vicky, was found burned inside. Everyone assumed he was dead. But that night, as Vicky packed her things at the hospital, a message appeared on her phone. "You said I'd never be a real man. Watch me prove you wrong." The aftermath. Walford descended into silence. Ross couldn't sleep, haunted by what his son had become. Vicky couldn't breathe without checking over her shoulder. And Teddy? He watched from the shadows, knowing he'd started something unstoppable. The footage he'd uploaded anonymously to the police server had vanished, replaced by a single message. "Nice try, Teddy. You're next." The police confirmed the files had been accessed remotely, through an IP address traced to Australia. Joel's old home. He wasn't gone. He'd escaped. And now he was coming back to finish what he started. They say monsters aren't born, they're made. But in Walford, monsters evolve. From father to son, from victim to survivor, every secret becomes a weapon. And in the shadows of the Queen Vic, someone's always watching. Because here, the past never stays buried, it just waits for the next episode.